Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening Birmingham. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of being with my good friend, Birmingham. He is no stranger, songwriter and artist.
Yes.
Alvin Garrett is here finally on the What's Happening Birmingham podcast.
Yes.
Had to bring my man on. Finally, he's here. We are live at his home, which he has a studio, y'all. This is no lie. This is I love this studio.
Yes, real studio.
Real studio.
Real
you see, speakers, everything. He's not playing, as you can tell. Well, the reason why I want to bring Alvin on is, than do small talk, but he has, three reasons. One, he has a new album out that's called The Hill. Please check it out. He has an album release party on June 7th at Workplay. And finally, I just really give him the opportunity to tell his story. Because Alvin has a story, and Birmingham, we think we know people, but we really don't know people's story until they sit down. And I also do a plug until they come on the podcast and they want to talk about it. But Alvin, good evening, man.
Good evening, my brother. So good to have you. I call this the bread mill.
Bread mill.
This is where I make all the bread.
Okay.
Crank it out over
here.
Yeah.
So, second album.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. Number one, people are really loving the music, but also just getting it done. I've been working on this particular project for years, actually.
Okay.
Just been releasing singles, building my brand, learning, going through my ups and downs, and to finally have a body of work that I'm proud of and that people are proud of. It just feels really good.
So why you call the album The Hill?
All right, so let me tell you what HEAL stands for. Hope, inspiration, love, and loss. Okay. Because of hope, I have the inspiration to pursue what I love at the risk of loss. Can't live on the hill if you're afraid to take an L. So ultimately, this particular project represents a lifestyle that I've lived for so long, just getting up every day, going after those dreams, taking those L's. And then it all just came together in this sort of movement of walking by faith, climbing, chasing those dreams, because that's what I'm all about, and that's what this project represents.
All right, well, I'm going to channel my inner Vlad TV with DJ. Shout out to DJ Vlad. I love Vlad TV interviews. I love his interviews. Maybe one day I'll be on there. His favorite question is, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Here from Birmingham.
Well, I'm actually from Tuscaloosa.
All right.
So I'm always shout out my native hometown, Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
I've been in Birmingham since '96. Came here on a football scholarship to Sanford University and studied business. And always, grew up in church playing bass, came to Birmingham, started getting on the choir scene as a musician. But studying business was really a great choice that I made instead of studying music, because I've always been a naturally talented musician. But the business that I learned, the management, understanding numbers, understanding business principles, is what I truly feel gave me an edge as an independent artist and as an entrepreneur, just understanding how things work outside of the music, outside of the creative arts,
All right. So let's kind of speed. Once you graduated from Sanford.
Oh, I went into corporate America.
Okay.
Got me a job.
Okay. All right.
all that music playing was cool, but I got a job. And but what I did after graduating and getting into corporate America, that was around the time we started Just a Few Cats. And so what I would do is just reinvest the money. I got me a small apartment, a decent little ride. But I would just buy music equipment, mics, sound equipment, everything that I needed to finance the band. I pretty much made it through my job. We promoted concerts. I self-financed all of that. And then when the time came where I ran out of vacation time and the opportunities that lied ahead, sort of like, hey, you gonna stay on this job or you gonna go for it? You gonna jump? You gonna get on that hill?
Yeah, okay.
And so around June 22nd, 2002, I jumped, man. I got on that hill, went full time, gave it all up, believing in myself. And this was pre-American Idol. And that's what's so key about my story, is that there were no guarantees. There were no, there's a tour waiting on you. Oh, we got a record deal for you. So I didn't leave a nice salary job with a better opportunity or with a better guarantee. I left with nothing but my faith and my boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got music, we got it moving, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the part of the story with me leaving that summer and then the next summer being on tour with American Idol. So that whole year, man, it was so amazing to me. Having visualized myself being somewhere and then actually showing up there, you know, it's an amazing situation. Yeah.
So while that was going on, because I think a lot of people, you know, they saw the Ruben story, but anybody that was in Birmingham knew he was with just a few cats.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how it was to be behind the scenes and watching his rise going on at the same time and everything.
Well, like I said, I was always the brains. I mean, just keeping it real. I was the brains. I was the marketer. I was the one putting everything together. And Ruben actually left his day job, after I left mine, to partner with my business called the Music Caterers, which has always been the management company behind Just Because, which I started in college. And so we were out promoting a concert, which we did. And this was pre-social media, pre-email marketing, pre-Jarvis.
I know,
Pre-Jarvis.
Also, you ain't me right there by that time. Oh, man.
Pre-Jarvis, you had flyers and you had to we literally drove around town going to people's jobs, selling tickets, passing out flyers. This is, you know, in our younger days. And I remember we were over on UAB campus and we went around to this little apparel shop. And by this time, Ruben had already made it to American Idol. So a lot of people don't know, you know, he was giving me a call. Like, hey, man, they think I'm going to win.
Okay.
I'm like, get out of here. This is while he's interviewing. So when he came home around November, December, we were promoting the concert for January. And we walk into this shop and I go in, I'm saying, hey, listen, y'all need to fix my man up. He about to be famous.
Okay.
Right? Fix him up.
Fix him up.
He about to be famous. And he like, hey, hold up, man. We don't supposed to be because it's supposed to be kind of secret, you know? I said, dude, I'm finna get you some free jerseys.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna get you, because I was the mouthpiece. And so they were like, what's going on? I asked them, did they know about American Idol? And and so by that time, they were kind of getting a little hype. And he was like, hey, man, just check out what you want. We got you. And so Ruben saw the jersey, and there was a little pin here, or said 205. And he said, hey, why don't y'all make that big? Why don't you stretch that across my chest so I can rep my city? Now, I believe that had it not been for that jersey, Ruben as just a singer may not have inspired the city.
Okay.
But that 205 ignited the movement that got behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Right? No question about it. No question about it. But I also point back to, what if I had kept my mouth shut?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, a lot of times people feel like because they're not the one in the light, you know, that they're not as important. But you never know, you know, relative to something else, how important you are. You know what I mean? So I always say, if I had done as he said, which was hush, he wouldn't have got that jersey. 205 would have never happened. Who's to say we would have been as excited about it? You never know. So I just believe that my role, not only business-wise, but just in who I am, my willingness to open my mouth and ask for things made a lot of things happen, not only for me, but for people around me.
So seeing, you know, what was going on with Ruben, how did you learn about the music business? Now you was on that big stage with him going on. What were some of the things you learned and saw?
Well, I'll say this. I'm a student.
Okay.
I love to learn. You know, like I say, I mean, I was a honor student at Sanford University. I mean, you know, little plug, Sanford.
Yeah.
But once I got to that particular stage as a bass player, I realized, okay, I already got that. Let me go learn about this. So on tour, you know, you're doing a 52-city tour. I'm talking to the sound engineer. I'm mingling with the tour manager. I'm learning as much as I could because I was like, you know, this could actually get kind of boring just doing the show, going back to the bus, doing the show, back to the bus. I saw a world of information, a world of opportunity to learn. And I've always been that way. It's like when I go somewhere new and it's something to learn, hey, can you show me this? So just taking that approach, I learned about, you know, how to record, you know, myself, I engineer, how to mix live sound, you know, what a production advance even means. You know, before going on tour, I didn't know what a production advance was. So there's so much that I learned because I opened my eyes to the information around me as opposed to simply focusing on, well, I play the bass. You see what I mean?
So he wasn't afraid to, I always like to say, break stuff. Because that's the only way you can learn, you know, how to do it. And then, like, when you was saying that, what was thinking in my head, and I know a lot of artists is probably looking at this, is like, you know, when you're doing this yourself, you minimize your costs because, I mean, I've never been in the music business, but I know everything costs: studio time, engineer, drummers, that. But you weren't afraid to learn different things.
Right. Absolutely. So in Birmingham, here's the challenge with being a full-time musician / artist in this particular market. I call it an underdeveloping or an emerging market, whereas Atlanta is probably 10 years ahead of us in terms of where they are market-wise. So you have over there, people come from other markets. The best and the brightest move there. So here we don't have as much access to the information I received touring. I was lucky. So, you know, being able to record in the studio in Birmingham, having access to studios in Birmingham is not like living in Atlanta. You better figure it out on your own, or you may not be able to record or have a market ready recording in some ways. So you have to learn to do it yourself. And so I would even work in other markets where they would say, in LA, we don't sit down and record, write, engineer, sing. No, we have a person for each job in LA. And I'm like, well, in Alabama and Birmingham, we do everything. They're like, dude, you a beast, but you have to learn it, or else you won't get it done. But I love this city, and I said, I'm not moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, you know, I was called to be here. You know, when I came to Birmingham, I'm like, this is my new home. You know, I raised my family here. So I feel like whatever I go out and learn, I want to bring it back home. And so, like you say, being an independent artist, it's not just about cutting costs. It's about doing what you got to do to get it done. Meaning that if I can't afford it, I'm going to learn how to do it and go on by myself.
We're going to get to that in a minute. I don't want to jump around.
Gotcha.
So years later, take us a little bit more step across your musical journey.
Okay.
You know, let's go, you know, we talked about 2003, 2004.
Right.
But let's kind of speed up a little bit. Okay. You know, 2007, 2008, 2009, up to 2020.
Okay, I got you. So all after American Idol tour, I became Ruben Studdard's musical director. But all throughout the time we were touring and I was handling that position, I was aspiring to be a songwriter. Okay. And because, you know, I'm full-time, because I dove all in, you know, just every single day I'd be in the studio grinding, figuring out how to produce, figuring out how to edit vocals and write. So I just worked at it every day because I knew I didn't want to stop just there. Okay. Like I wanted to I wanted to run a record label. I still do. That's what I'm doing. Okay. But to get to that point, I had to learn how to produce. So I would just find the nearest, dearest artist to me. It's like, hey, let's get in the lab. So I started working with a girl, Ashley Gewen. Yeah. Ashley Gewen, around 2008, she was one of the background singers in the band. And I just started writing with her and recording. And took about a year and a half. But we got that project done. But before that, 2004, we did the Just a Few Cats project. All of this stuff, man, I go back and listen to it now, and it's like, God, that was horrible. But I could hear my progression over the years because I just stayed at it. I just stayed at it. And so always behind the scene, I was aspiring to do something more than what people saw. Like, so Just a Few Cats, Ruben, the band was sort of my cover story. While y'all see that, I'm back here working on this other stuff. And then around 2010, I started getting my first placements with other artists like Noel Gourdine. Did a whole project with him, like 10 songs out of 14, which was amazing for me. Of course, started getting some gospel placements and easing over into 2012, where I released my own solo project, Expose Yourself. So throughout the years, I was always just kind of producing other people, but then over time started developing my own voice. To where when I'm sending out demos for labels to take my songs for their artists, they're like, well, who's the guy singing all the demos? Like, this sounds like an album. But I had no interest in being an artist at the time because I was cool behind the scenes. I'm like, hey, I run the business, you know? So it was a evolution over time for me to step out front because I started to realize, hey, man, being behind the scenes was a challenge because I'm an out front kind of guy. You know? So
you know, when you were saying that, I was thinking in my head, okay, what challenges, what adversity did you face during that time of trying to? I want to speak from an artist, and you know, we being open. What challenges did you face financially during that time? You know, trying to go up that hill.
Right. Everybody faces financial challenges, but I'll go a little deeper than that, man.
Okay.
My biggest challenge was redefining myself to people.
Okay.
Because I'm a good bass player, no question about it. If I had just focused on that, I'd be touring. Everybody would be calling.
Yeah.
So for me saying I'm not cornbread anymore shocked everybody. Like, you're cornbread. You play bass for Ruben Studdard. You play bass for Just Few Cats. So redefining myself to say I'm not just a bass player. Like, don't just think of me as a person who holds an instrument. I'm a songwriter. I'm a producer. I'm something else. My vision for my life is way bigger than my instrument.
Okay.
That was the toughest part for me, because when you try to get people to engage you on the future you, they want to deal with the present you. Oh. And that shakes all of your current relationship. People you close to depend on you being who you've always been.
Yeah.
So,
because when you step out of that, it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to deal with you.
Right, because you're my foundation. Like, I keep it real. I did about 10 different jobs for Ruben.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was his rock. Bro, he can just chill. You give me, when we talk like this, hey man, what you want to do? What you want? I'm over here killing it. But he chilling. He can chill because Alvin got it. When I start saying I want to be an artist, hold up, wait a minute. That's not what I'm used to. Not that you don't want me to succeed, but you do 10 jobs for me. You see what I'm saying? And so now that I look back on it, I see why there was a little bit of tension there. Not because he didn't love me or because he didn't want me to be successful, but because, man, I got to replace you. Man, you killing me. I got to replace the guy that does this, and this. So now that causes me, that person, to say, whoa, man, how can I pull that off? Like, I'm uncomfortable now because I don't know who's going to come in, handle my band, handle payroll, put the show together. That's my guy. But now my guy needs to stand next to me. So that transition, even in that relationship, took a while. You know, and that's part of it that a lot of people don't see, is that when you decide to change, your relationship to other people also changes, and you have to have grace for other people who love you as you are, and give them time to love you as the person you're trying to become.
And then, you know, as you was speaking on that, you know, I keep going back, local bands, artists probably listening to this. How do they get out of that? Because, you know, a lot of people, they start in the clubs. They start being cover singers, cover bands. How did you kind of get out that box? Because I see a lot of them be stuck in that box. And then it's like, well, I want to play my original. Oh, I want to hear that. I want you to play Maze. Or I want you to play Beyonce. How are you able to jump out of that box? Because people get stuck in that.
Well, what it is the way I see it. Hey, come on in, Greer. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Greer decided to interrupt our. This is Greer. This is my youngest.
Yes.
She's 5. This is why I work, for real, for real. Hey, Daddy's doing his interview. Can I finish? All right. Okay. Well, tell her not to hit you. All right. I'll be up there in a little bit. And we're going to leave that in because that's
we're going to leave that. Okay, we'll leave that in. We'll leave that on the podcast.
Hey, that's life.
But I'm just, for real though, people, you know, and not saying any names, you know, this can happen in any city. You know, we go every Friday and Saturday to our local spots and we hear our favorite singers. And, you know, like, man, we be thinking to ourselves, like, man, they could really be out there. But then I feel like some of them get stuck in just being the cover band. They don't know how to jump to that next level.
Now that, like, to really dive into that conversation would take a whole nother podcast.
Oh, okay.
But I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. Make money.
Okay.
Okay. Do business.
Okay.
Build relationships.
Okay.
Right? People will grow with you as you grow, but you have to be able to afford to grow.
Oh, I got that.
All right. So just to let you look at it, Just a Few Cats is my bread and butter. Always has been. No label has ever given me a dime to be Alvin Garrett. Not this guy. Not one dime.
Okay.
Okay? but I can feed my family, Lil Mama who just came in here, because people pay to see just a few cats entertain them. So what I do is I reinvest into this guy over time.
Okay.
Over time by entertaining, doing the dance floor, the weddings, and all of that stuff. You know, if you build your brand and you build relationships with people and you're smart with your money and you put the time and effort into it, people will evolve with you.
All right.
You know, and my good friend PJ Morton, a lot of people don't know about that relationship, which was parallel to my relationship with Ruben. PJ was all art. And he was like, man, you just sing the music till they come back and sing it to you. He just now starting to turn around after 20 years. And it took him 20 years just singing his own music to really hit that point. So most people can't sustain 20 years worth of grinding, you know, to not be sure you're going to ever be able to eat. So I sort of took the approach to say, if I'm going to be full-time, I got to make money.
Okay.
Well, I know people want to pay us to make them dance here in the maze and everything else. But while we making you dance, I'm going to write some good records. And then I'm going to build that relationship with you. And eventually, you're going to buy it just because you like me. You're going to buy it because we appreciate how you treat us.
Yeah.
We're going to buy whatever you sell us.
Okay.
And especially in today's industry, I'll tell everybody out there, stop selling music. Music should be selling you.
Oh, okay.
Because,
like that.
yes, don't sell music. Music sells you. Who are you? What do you make a person feel? There's so much music out here. It's free. Like, say, Spotify right here behind us.
Yeah.
To a subscriber, I can listen to endless amounts of music. Why am I going to stop and listen to you? Who are you? How do you make me feel? What do you, what's your sandcastle as opposed to just having sand at the beach? Most people still trying to sell people something. Be something that people want to buy into. You know, and for me right now, I had to learn that this hill is about people getting to know the man behind by myself.
Yes.
There's so many people who heard that song who don't know what I look like. Who ain't never met me, but it's something about that song. So when they meet the man behind that song, it's like, oh, I get it now. So now I'm out here selling me.
Okay.
I'm selling Alvin. When you buy this record, or if I give it to you, I'm like, this man, this piece of plastic ain't nothing. I'm everything. I'm the true value. You know what I mean? So I do whatever. I'm going to sell you a song. I'm going to sell you a wedding. I'm going to sell you an album.
And it's wedding season, too.
Come on. I'm not turning down no money. I'm telling you. I don't care how famous I get.
Okay.
I'm just going to do bigger and brighter weddings that pay more money. I'm just telling you. So now, and I'll say this about the club scene.
Okay.
Where a lot of artists struggle is they don't understand that the clubs are selling liquor, not entertainment. Right? And so because most bands and artists are not confident enough to go rent a venue, put the money behind marketing, spend money with you to email, because they don't actually think they're going to make enough money to net the $600 or the $500 they complaining about.
Okay.
Most people don't know what it takes to net $500. You might have to spend $25 just to walk away with $100 a man. So they complain and get mad at the club for not you used to pay me more money because I'm talented. No. Well, you go make $500 when it costs you $1,500 to put the show on. Now you got to sell 200 tickets at $10. But that's a different conversation. Who has $1,500 to possibly walk home with $100 a man? Who want to do that kind of work? Most people don't. So they get stuck in the club. Well, see, my thing is, if your fans really love you, go rent a spot. Say, come see me here. I'm going to entertain you. I'll charge you $15, and then whatever I lose, I lose. What I make, I make. And most groups are not willing to do that. So they get stuck with whatever the club owner's willing to give them and stop complaining.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Stop complaining about what a club owner willing to give you when he's selling liquor and you just so happen to be there. You know what I mean? That's
and then I started thinking, too, it's like, you know, when they go to the club that night, they want to hear those familiar tunes because that's what they're familiar with. Right. But if you make your own hits and get it popping, they gonna want to hear it because it's burning on YouTube, Spotify, all those other places. So yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like you can't take the easy route and expect great results. You're gonna have to go to the hard road, the narrow lane. You gotta get on the hill and take some losses in order for people to start loving your music. It's a costly road, and most people just want the glory. They don't want to build that story. They don't want to get rejected. They don't want to lose money. They want to play it safe and have somebody deliver their dream on a silver platter. It just don't work that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
So, June the 7th,
Yes.
Workplay,
Yes.
Alvin release party.
Yes.
Tell people who have never been to his show, to your show, what to expect.
Well, man, I'm in a different place now.
Okay.
In terms of being an artist, I've grown a lot vocally, in my comfort in who I am on stage, what I'm here to deliver, and I like to say I'm a part of a uprising of new soul singers.
Okay.
In the likeness of the Sam Cookes, the Al Greens, the Marvin Gayes. There's a new movement because people are hungry for a fresh, soul you can feel.
Yeah.
I'm in that class of new soul singers, man. So I'm gonna make you feel good.
Okay.
I'm gonna take you on a journey, great stories, musicality. I'm gonna have horns, background singers. It's gonna be a stage full of musicians. Of course, Just Few Cats is always my band, but it's gonna be a high energy, introspective show to where it's gonna really take you on a journey, man. And I think people are gonna see a lot of growth in me as an artist.
Okay. Well, let's give them a little teaser for a minute. For the first time, on the podcast, we got artists. We can give them a little musical teaser.
You want to give them a little something?
Yeah, there's a little musical teaser.
Well, my new single, This Hill, is climbing the charts.
Just give them a minute word, because
I got you a minute. I got you.
So where were you when you was making this song?
Young, I recall when my daddy told me
Let him hear the first verse.
whatever I want, as long as I believe. He never said it would be easy, never said I would cruise. On the way to the dream, he said I would get bruised up. Knocked down, gotta look up. Go to work instead of waiting for a hookup. Have faith, get a vision for your life. And never, ever, never run away from the grind.
Never run away from the grind. He said, what kind of space was I in when I wrote this?
Yeah.
Man, I got to give a shout out to my production team, Tag Team Entertainment. These boys in Boston, they're twins. They produced By Myself, Miss Perfection. We met in 2008 and just had this bond, man. And, sometimes when they send me music, the music just talks to me, man. And this track just spoke to me. And by this time, I had sort of gotten to the point where I understood what the hill was. And I was like, I just want to take a different swag to it, kind of rap a little bit with it, so my syncopation in it is a lot different than any other song I've ever done. Because I kind of think I'm a secret rapper.
Okay.
So I took that approach with this song, but I was just ready to let people know who I am, man. And that comes from my upbringing. My dad being a preacher, telling me how to live by faith. He would always say, son, if you say you want to do something, let me see you work.
Oh, okay.
If you say you want to go to the NFL, lay down and do some leg presses because you can't tackle nobody with weak legs. If you say you want to go to college, hit them books because you can't. You see what I'm saying? Anything I would ever say I want to do, he would judge me by my process.
Okay.
So, basically, you lying. If you saying you want to do that, and you ain't putting in the work, so just hush. Don't tell me you want to do something you ain't willing to work for it.
Yeah.
So this song pretty much says, I don't know any other way to live. Like, if I'm going to say I want to do something, my work will be reflective of what I said, or I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shut up about it.
Yeah.
So everything I say I want to do, I get up and I work for it.
Okay.
And you may not see me grinding, but I ain't asking for no handouts. I may ask for an investment.
Yes. Yeah.
With the promise of a return, but no handouts, because that's not how it works, But that goes back to how I was raised by my parents, to trust in God, but also put in the work to make things happen, because it's just not going to be handed to you.
So June the 7th.
Yes.
It's on a Friday.
Workplay
doors open up at 7.
Yeah. Show at 8.
Show at 8. Let me tell you one thing about Alvin's show as well. And you better come there. It's almost like you're going to church. You better be upbeat, because he's going to spot you out in the crowd.
I will.
If you're not being upbeat, he's going to come over there to you.
I'm going to come talk to you.
So ladies, tell your man be upbeat. Ladies, the same way. Because if not, don't think you just be quiet and be sedated, because this ain't that type of show.
No, we will get you.
This ain't no type of show. So how much for tickets?
$25.
Okay.
You can get them on workplay.com. And then after you get your ticket, if you just feel pretty VIP,
okay,
you can call 205-543-0897 to reserve your seats.
Okay.
But just be in the building. It's going to be a wonderful night, man. I'm very, very excited about this concert because it will be my first live performance of my new show with the new album. Yeah.
So what final words would you like to tell, I like to call you all viewers, now about just, because the reason why I originally came here just to do about a quick 5-10 minute interview, but y'all know how my podcast go. It take on a life of its own. Even when I was going to the podcast, I thought, well, I'm going to split it up. And I was like, no, we just get this uninterrupted. I know a lot of people be like, well, I stopped looking at it after 5 minutes, but you cheat yourself if you stopped at 5 minutes.
Don't do it.
Sometimes in life, you have to let the spirit lead how it goes. I feel like me sitting here talking to you, it's like I'm looking up, looking down with the hill at you. While you up on top and seeing how you climb. So the question I have to ask you, I know it's final words, does it look better while you're at the top, or does it look better while you was climbing up to it?
That is a very good question. It looks the same to me.
Okay.
Let me explain what I'm saying.
Okay.
Once I see it up here, I'm not surprised when I see it here.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So my vision is what guides me every day.
Okay.
So I'm not caught off guard by success.
Okay.
Because what you see today is a 5-year-old idea.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So what you're going to see tomorrow, I'm already thinking about it today.
Okay.
So when I say in this song, keep climbing, I never look down the hill.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you get to a certain point and you rest, it becomes your resting place.
Okay.
You live by the climb. So for me, I live in my head. It looks better in my mind. So I'm always thrilled. Every day I'm living, I'm excited about what's happening next. That's what keeps my spirit up. I hope I answered your question.
Oh, yeah, it's answered. And last but not least, Friday, June the 7th, Wordplay, be in the building, Birmingham. Remember, like what he just said, support your local artists.
And I want to throw this in here. I would love for us to rebrand that word local.
Okay.
I would like to rebrand it because I'm a marketer.
Okay.
Let's start calling us Birmingham-based artists. Okay. Here's what I'm saying. I have a Grammy nomination. I've toured around the world. But because I live in Birmingham, it's comfortable for people to say you're local. When you say local, it sounds less expensive. Okay, it sounds like we're supposed to pay less for it than somebody that's coming from out of town. When you go to Atlanta, they don't call their national artists local. They call them by their credentials. So let's have pride and say, I am a Birmingham-based artist. Because I should be proud to be from Birmingham, to run my business from Birmingham. So I ask everybody out there, media and everybody, start saying our Birmingham-based artists. Because this is just a platform to the rest of the world. Don't box us in by that word local. Hey, local artists, let's go support them. No, buy it because it's great and because we competing with Atlanta and Hollywood and everything. We want to raise our standard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just an appeal I make to people like yourself to just say, hey, Birmingham-based artists, Birmingham-based musicians, because we as a marketplace, we here all going up the hill. You feel me?
Yeah, I like that because even in Birmingham, we have a hill with Vulcan.
Yeah.
Sticking out.
Because they're not gonna call you a local marketer. No, he's a Birmingham.
Yeah, I say what's happening in Birmingham.
Come on.
Yeah.
But you were a while though, baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Alvin, thank you, brother.
Thank you for
coming
here,
on.
Yes,
you guys,
sir.
Please check out the show. For more videos, please check out what's happening Birmingham.com, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all again, and have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.